What's going on YouTube? Dr. K N-Scaler here, coming to you from the garage, train room, workshop, call it what you want. We are working on a giant foam mountain featured in a video a little while back, but basically I've got this thing ready for some Sculpt-a-mold, so that's what we're going to be doing in this film, and then go from there. So basically what we've done is glued layer upon layer of styrofoam together, shaped with a drywall saw, and basically glued it all together, got our mountain shape, and then from there took a utility knife and made lines to kind of show the rock layers. Okay, so what we're going to do is make some Sculpt-a-mold, kind of blend in some of these areas. Got a couple crevices and things like that, or as Henry calls them, tunnels. But just gonna smooth that out with a little bit of Sculpt-a-mold. Not gonna Sculpt-a-mold the whole thing, just some of the areas, kind of blend, try and hide where the foam went. You can see down in this area, this is gonna be kind of our rock quarry area. I'm gonna do some Sculpt-a-mold in here. But yeah, should be pretty awesome. So anyways, there's the mountain, super lightweight, which is really cool that we can take it on and off of the layout. Let's make some Sculpt-a-mold. So got a little Sterilite container. Off camera here is my giant box of Sculpt-a-mold that I bought on Amazon. I've noticed since I bought this last year, I think the price has doubled. But we're gonna do about 2 scoops in there. Close this back up so we get any humidity in the box. Basically, this stuff is activated by water. And with a paper mache product, and really good. So I've got a cold glass of water from the fridge. I'm hoping that the cold water will give us a little bit more working time. Basically, just going to get this all cleaned up. One of my buddies at Train Club, Joe, is who taught me about Sculpt-a-mold. He said you really want to get it the consistency of baby poo, which is disgusting, but as a dad of 2 under 2, both wearing diapers, it's a very good description and very easy to get. So for you guys that aren't dads or moms or parents or around baby poo, basically you just want it kind of wet. This is probably a little bit too wet, but that should give us a little bit longer working time. I have done it where I'll put dye in it and stuff. I feel like it just really kind of loses its color over time. So we're just going to be filling in these cracks. Can you guys see that? Filling these cracks as we go. Some more over here. Trying to show you guys what are we doing. Basically just going to blend this in, and then eventually it'll just all be painted, which will be pretty cool. So got a pretty big crack right here. Ideally, you probably should have put a piece of foam behind it, but once the Sculpt-a-mold cures, you won't ever know that that was there. So, and I will, once we get the Sculpt-a-mold on, we will go back with putty knife and put some lines in it, and that will really blend it in. Just follow the lines on the foam that we already made, and go from there. So, how we're doing? Just going around. What have you guys been up to? Apologize, I've been off the YouTube for a little while. I was out of town last week. One of my really good friends got married in North Carolina. That was nice to go up there, see a little different part of the country. Really nice pine forest. Sadly, I didn't see any trains while around that trip. I was hoping to do a little bit of rail fanning while driving across the state from the airport to the coast. Didn't see any trains, but it would have definitely made some really cool model railroad scenes with the hills and the trees and everything, and I'm sure they're there. I just probably wasn't in the right spot. So we're gonna keep working our way around, getting in these cracks, just kind of blending it all together. Pull off some of these chunks as we go. Do some up here. Try not to really see any like flat foam on these projects, because it's just not real. Nothing's really flat on Earth. Yeah, so there we go. Just blend it in. really can't mess this up. You can be too critical of yourself, which happens to the best of us, but so just have fun, blend it in. Right now I'm doing a spot on the top between these two hills. Just kind of get it crammed in there. Get it blended in so it doesn't look like just foam stacked together. But once this is all painted and scenic in, it'll be really hard to tell. Well, less. I think everyone will know this is a foam mountain forever, but less hard to tell. How about that? So there we go. Looking good. Filling in some of these crevices that's earlier. A little blending. So this may be either a really boring video, really relaxing video, probably a good end of the day wind down video, nothing too exciting, but if you've never ever worked with this stuff, it is pretty fun to work with, and it's kind of like doing ceramics. It's fun, so just do whatever you want with it. Like I said, you can't really screw this up. Just gonna blend it all in. Go from there. Keep that going. Here's another. This is the back side of the mountain. Not super worried about this, but this layout is going to eventually be it's able to be worked from every side. The layout's on casters, so if we have a big club run, get together, or have a bunch of other model railroad YouTubers come into Florida and want to run trains at my house, we can pull this thing out into the space we're in right now and use it and enjoy it. So we are going to skeep or scenic the whole thing. It's a really big crevice right there. It's Travis's crevice. If Susie watches this, she'll know what I'm talking about. Inside joke. Funny story. But yeah, just getting this thing all blended in. Should look really good pretty soon. Excited. Worst part about Sculpt-a-mold is letting it cure. Takes a while. I feel like it takes longer in humid Florida. My garage is not that humid because we've got the air conditioner going on in here. Still does take a while. The thicker you put it on, the longer it's going to take to cure because it is made of water. And, you know, just part of it. So once it's all cured up, we're going to paint it. It's going to be a lot of layers of paint and whatnot to get it to look like those rocks back there. Not sure if you can see them. I'm not going to grab the camera. My Sculpt-a-mold hands. I'm going to jump over to this side and then work on the inside because we have not a ton of working time. It feels like we've got some decent working time left here. Build this big old crevice up. What tunnel? Where did that go? It's gone. Just going, use a lot of smaller pieces of foam to get this kind of crazy edge shape here. Sculpt-a-mold should go in nicely. What you notice is you don't really see it as much right now because there's so much going on in different colors, but if you start painting, you'll notice these cracks between the foam really stick out, and that's the idea of trying to get the Sculpt-a-mold in now versus what we did on that was paint it, find the cracks, Sculpt-a-mold, repaint. So basically just taking a stepping stone approach to it. So blend in some of these cracks right here where this pink and gray foam meet together. You can feel that the Sculpt-a-mold is being a little bit firmer, so we're gonna speed up. I know I'm not speeding up the video, but speed up the process. I feel like when I am filming for YouTube, I can do things way slower than I do them when I'm not filming, but that's okay, because I like talking to you guys, explaining what we're doing. Really, it's been a fun journey so far in the YouTube realm of model railroading. I think that should be a qualification for master model railroader, as I feel like publishing and being a YouTuber could definitely count towards that. What do you guys think? So I think there's a handful of guys on here. And Skiller 454, bronze trains and things. And scale dystopia especially. You guys should totally be master model railroaders by now with the level of things you do and build. And really you're teaching. You've done so much for the model railroad community, you guys don't even know. But just really big shout out to that crew right there. Ron's trains and things. He's kind of like, he started this stuff. I mean, I know he didn't start this stuff, but he's kind of he's been doing it the longest, and he's really good. His layout's really cool. He's out of Kansas City. But yeah, so check him out. I'm sure if you're watching this, you definitely know who Ron's Trains and Things is. Right now, let's get to this. Can't see because I'm blocking the view. Right now, I'm just working this now curing and harder Sculpt-a-mold in to this canyon back here. It's coming in like clumps. That's fine. Like we said, you can't screw this up. You keep working it in there. So this is turning out really cool, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and like. My buddy Joe Hank informed me that subscribe and follow is the same thing. You're just being redundant, and you are right. So I'm learning the YouTube ways, Joe Hank. Thanks to you, buddy. All my other friends. Joe Hank's one of my best buddies from Vegas. Shout out. Probably the first one to watch this. I think he's got me on super follow. I don't even know if that exists, but probably gets a notification on his watch. He has to stop what he's doing to see our next video, which is pretty cool. Love it. Joe Hank, when are you gonna start doing model railroading, buddy? Excellent off-roader, gunsmith, shooter. Joe Hank's a man of mans. So what do you think of this mountain, Joe? You think this would pass for out west where you live, buddy? Not sure. Don't think you guys have pink mountains. I think some of the people want pink mountains though. Just keep working this Sculpt-a-mold in. You're all in there. As we go, we're just seeing some spots that need some blending between where the foams pile up. Running out of Sculpt-a-mold, but we're also running out of time to work with it, so that worked out quite well. When this stuff dries, it's gonna look really good. Sure, it'll look just exactly how it is now, but then we can paint it, and it will look really good, right? Keep on going. Hopefully we're in the frame here. Just working through the canyon, working through the mine. About out of working time with this sculpt. We're just gonna fill these last couple of crevices with what's left. May have to do another batch. Let's see, we'll take a look. Let me get this all in there though. This is another area that really isn't going to be seen unless you're like standing in the garage door looking the mine. Like I said, when this layout's pulled out or when we're doing scenes and operations and filming, you're definitely going to see this thing from all sides. So that's the idea here. So a couple more goobers, Sculpt-a-mold. Force them in here. Probably make just a small batch and go from there. So let's see. Yep, gonna need some more here. But yeah, you see this stuff is just already curing, which is great. Hopefully this thing doesn't take days to cure like my mountains over there. I actually made that Sculpt-a-mold really wet, thinking it would help me smooth into the cracks. Smoothed in fine, but then it took like a week to dry. So anyways, there's that. You can take a quick pause and go from there. Alright guys, back from a quick break. We'll make one more small batch of Sculpt-a-mold and show you the final result of filling in the cracks. So one scoop, smaller batch, mix it up. Add some water, fresh out of the fridge again. Not a ton of water. Let's see where that gets us. Don't want this really wet. Just mixing it up here with this little putty knife. Works really well for mixing and for applying. I'd say the other thing, you probably don't know what this feels like either. It's like biscuit batter. That's what this reminds me of. So get this going in here, blend these areas, get her done. A lot wetter than before, but that's okay. Be really good at smoothing in kind of some of this stuff at the top and blend it really nicely when it comes to painting. So this is the area you're going to see a lot of these foam lines where the foam comes together. Continue that ridge line right there with some Sculpt-a-mold. Won't even be able to tell eventually what's foam and what's Sculpt-a-mold. Hopefully you will think that it's all a big beautiful mountain, right? That would be cool. When this is done, that is the goal. Like I said, what's the next step? After the Sculpt-a-mold dries in a couple days, we're gonna hit this thing with a lot of paint. The other mountains, it seems like everyone has two different techniques on YouTube. Either you start light and add dark, or you add dark, start dark and add light. Now the rock over there, I started dark and took a lot of light to lighten it up to where it is. Part of me wants to match that and make this mountain exactly the same as that. The other part of me says, you could probably do it better this time. And considering trying going light first and then darkening it up from there, which is what I've done on, when we've done rock molds and things like that, and that always turns out nice. So what do you guys do? What's your technique? I know a fair amount of you guys watching this are way better at scenery than I am, but let's hear it. Let's see what you guys think. What should we do? Start light, and go from there. Gonna go for me like a limestone look, a lighter rock, and see how it goes. So let's just keep on blending, blending. And Sculpt-a-mold. I always use gloves. You do not have to use gloves. It's basically just paper and water and some plaster mixed together. assumption of what Sculpt-a-mold is, but I like using gloves, and but you do not have to. You don't want to use them, you don't have to. There's what do they say? It's your railroad. It's your diorama. It's your Sculpt-a-mold and foam mountain. Just getting the last little bits out of the bucket here. Do a little bit more blending. Pretty much keep thinking I'm done and then find some more spots to go. And that's pretty much how this is gonna work. And I'm sure we're gonna get it all dried and start painting and find a bunch more spots that need Sculpt-a-mold. But what we'll do is get this on, do a quick walk around of the mountain so you guys can have an idea of what I've been doing. You've been staying stationary, and show you what it looks like. So, anyways, gonna pop these gloves off. Take you on a quick tour of the mountains. So, here we are, flying around. It's the helicopter view. Dr. K and Scalar's foam mountain. So. All the white is where we've added, or where I've added Sculpt-a-mold. You've watched me kind of blend this in. Go back. So, don't have to watch me do it, but basically, if you look closely, these little lines between the layers, I'm gonna blend those with Sculpt-a-mold, like right in here. And that'll be the next thing I do. Probably blend a little bit at the bottom. This thing should be good to go. Gonna let it cure for a couple days, hit it with some paint, weathering, start going from there. Again, thank you for watching, all my train friends, friends, diorama friends. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and what do you guys wanna see next? Having fun doing some scenery on Saturday. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.